Welcome. Good evening. You're all back. This is another episode, our 10th or 11th, depending on which ones you were allowed to watch, of NerdinIn. NerdinIn is just a bunch of friends. We've all known each other for over 10 years, started off in cliques and comic books and hanging out on the weekly. And we can't do that anymore because a lot of us are all in different states. My name is Omar, and I'm in Dallas.
I'm Sean in Michigan.
I'm Pharaoh One, what you want to call me, whatever. I'm up in Washington, the state, not the District of Columbia.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good, right, man. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing especially well because I want to thank you so much. We have a handful of subscribers that jumped in and started even plunging into our older episodes. I want to thank you guys so much for the viewership. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. And I think we also have a Twitch account. So we haven't even started utilizing that for video recording yet, but eventually we will once we have someone that can help with that. So being that the majority of what we've been covering, and it seems to be a lot more popular, obviously we love it, Heroclix. Right now, we are in our fourth or third week of Fantastic Four previews for the set that's going to be coming out as soon as 2 weeks from now, possibly. Have you guys?
So I haven't got any hard evidence on the if they're going to send out pre-release kits like they were.
It could be as early as next week if they do pre-release.
Really?
Which they're not going to do the events, right? But
no,
they might send out.
But I mean, they were sending them out just for sale because if rumors are true and WizKids really is hurting financially, they will ship it out as early as July 8th. That would be 2 weeks before release, just to get it on, because stores are open and selling stuff. So if they want to move products, they might do it early.
So it's interesting about WizKids being hurting financially. I'm wondering how much revenue they have tied up into their tournament stuff they do a few times a year. Because, and I only say this because it seems product sales for the last set were really good. Our local venue, we are by no means a main clicks venue. I think we blew through 12 cases.
That's awesome.
Of clicks, right? That's crazy during the, and we got it late, right? So I'm wondering if they're underwater a little bit because of the tournament thing. And if they are, that seems like they were running too close to the edge, which means someone's not doing the budgets right. You know what I'm saying? Because if stores are still buying the product, because really they don't care if we buy the product. They care. They care if the stores buy it.
They published a photo last year of Nationals of how many bricks they went through, and it was it was a ton with all the BRs and the team and
sure. And I've seen it. And I've been there, but
yeah. So you've seen it. I mean, so they've lost all those sales, and
that shouldn't put them in the spot. If they're running the company well, you would think they wouldn't be in the spot. I mean, that's probably. Let's say they make. Sorry, go ahead. I know this derailed the whole conversation. Omar's like, "What the hell, guys?"
I don't think they've ever run the company well. Is what I was gonna say.
Fair. You know what? See, I always thought they ran the company poorly from a player's perspective, but that meant they were making all the money they could, right? Because usually when you're running it for profit, stuff like they do normally makes more sense. Right? Heavy scalper use makes more sense if you want to get more scratch. Do it partnering with another place to kind of run your tournaments for you, except for your major ones, makes more sense if you want to make more money, right? Like outsourcing type of thing. But if they were doing all this to cut corners, and they were 3 major tournament sealed product things away from utter and complete failure, that's a whole different. Maybe that means the licensing costs way more than I would think it does, right? Because that seems like the razor's edge.
I mean, they're still a subsidiary of NECA, so
right. But
I don't know how. I don't know how their structure works, but So even if they were hurting a little, I would still think, their parent company would help them out, help them keep afloat.
Right. So it was just more when you said that, I was like, oh, I wonder if they are doing poor financially, even though it seems like, at least, I mean, they don't just sell clicks, right? Obviously, they sell other stuff.
They have board games and
right.
and D&D miniatures now.
Right. Well, they have board games is in air quotes because, none of their board games ever do well.
Yeah.
Like, ever. Like, it's just, it's going to be sad. One day, clicks will be over, and the licenses will never be back together under the same roof again for some kind of game. And we will look back, like, when we're 80 and realize, like, they had the golden goose and they might have screwed the pooch a little bit. But that is not right now. Right now, we've got a new set coming out. That's exciting.
Sorry,
Omar.
For so many different reasons. I think the previews that they busted out, there was like 3 of them.
There's tons of. No, that was just today. There was 3 of them.
Yeah.
Since last week, I think there's been.
We got to talk about
bunch.
everything. Yeah. So first, they released kind of like those old school posters where it showed every single piece, right?
I know.
The last time they did one of those, like DC 75th, or was it other than that? Where they had
a minute.
Single figure, they had them numbered, and then sometimes even no, I don't think they ever did a map on the other side. No, but it was a poster, like a promotional poster.
That was cool. I enjoyed that. Wait, so what was your initial when you saw the whole set in its totality? Were you like 100% they got it right, 75% they did a pretty good job, or like, ooh, this set was not as good as I thought it was going to be?
I was extremely happy just because I got the Von Doom family, that I got God Doom. I was pissed. Molecule Man is such a big component to that because he was the power battery for all the Beyonders. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. I was so pissed about that. And then when I looked down the characters and I saw the sculpts and the sculpt reuse, I was like, what the fuck, really? And then seeing more and more, especially like you brought up before, the Spider-Mans. Right. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Yes, I get it. This set was supposed to be out 3-4 months ago. And then the Spider, the Carnage set was supposed to come out. But it's like, yeah, man, they missed it. And I don't know. With WizKids, I don't think they've ever made like the perfect set. And they'll never make it because...
Ooh, I don't know. Warlight was pretty damn close.
Yeah,
that was close. That was the pinnacle.
Yeah, Warlight had everything, and they didn't miss anything.
That was a tight set. Like that set was compact, well themed. You know what though? Someone actually, I was with you. Like my opinion, very similar, right? But someone kind of reversed me on it a little bit, right? A good friend of the community, the great Nat Fam, was like, well, if you think about it, Spider-Man's a really big part of the Fantastic Four's history. Like, really big. Matter so much that the Human Torch starred in his cartoon. I was like, or co-starred in his cartoon. I'm like, okay, fair, right? Not the Human Torch. Oh, what was it? Yeah, wasn't Human Torch was in the Super Friends?
Yeah, Johnny Storm.
Right. Then, it's the first set we've had in a while where different stuff crosses over. Because usually the X-Men, any X-Men character, has been reserved for X-Men sets for a while now, right? Like, they've been pretty much in their own sets for, I would say, about 3-4 years? Where they just don't cross over to anybody else's stuff, right? And then Hulk has been kind of hanging out in Avengers sets. And Spider-Man's been hanging out in Spider-Man sets. Like, there's been Spidey all over the place, but a lot of Spider-Man sets, right? This set, because of the new Fantastic Four from back when, it's not new anymore, but back from when we were youngsters, right? That kind of brought together Wolverine's in the set and X-23 because of the same reason. Bunch of Hulks are in the set because of the new. So it's almost like the F4 is like the missing nexus point we've needed for just a general like messy click set that's got a lot of different themes in it, but all play for the same team. We haven't had one of those in a minute. So he kind of turned me around on it. I'm still unhappy we didn't get more Heralds. Like, I'm looking at a couple figures and I'm like, I don't know. Did we need 36 Ghost Riders?
No, yeah, we did not need. We needed maybe one Ghost Rider. we have what, 3 or 4 in here?
4, I think. Right?
Yeah,
2 standing ones.
That's way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not need so many X23s.
That's true.
There's like multiple of her in here too.
Right.
Heralds are missing, which I'm not too happy about. I think they're probably 60-70% there on a hit.
I gave him a B.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's not, after FF being away for so long, they were still trying to squeeze in like mainstream stuff, and nobody cared if like no one else showed up but FF and Cosmic people.
I think people would have been upset if we didn't get the new Fantastic Four. If they didn't bring out Grey Hulk, original Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and like this is the one time we were going to get it. Like that was and Spidey. I think that was that. I would.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man should be in the set because he even replaced Johnny at one point.
That book, and what was it, Omar? What was it? Was that the 90s? Or was that the late 80s? Late 80s?
Yeah, it was Art Adams. Which is funny because we got kind of, at least visually, it looks like a Joe Fix-It. We got the Spider-Man kind of in the outfit, but we don't have a Pat, which is Wolverine.
No, we got Wolverine in the brown coat instead.
Okay.
Like
whatever. I guess that's like Madripoor. That's the Madripoor version, the gangster version of Logan. So that's fine. Yeah. I guess so.
We got him in like the bomber, like the more modern bomber, like the bomber look with the brown pants. But honestly, the fact that the 4 of them are in it is for me is enough, right? Because I know sometimes they can't make. It's better if you just go a little more generic on who Wolverine can represent, so you can give him about 40 keywords, right? And Wolverine's a super rare. What was interesting is, did you guys see that the super rare and super rare prime are kind of different sculpts? One's a single based and one's a peanut based for Alejandra, for Ghost Rider. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't think, have we ever seen that?
No.
So we saw it when they reused one of the Ghost Rider sculpts. I think it went from single to peanut base. The sculpt was the same, but the base changed between the set and the LE one.
Wait. Hold on. Was this like pre-carded era?
One was like one Ghost Rider might have been REV type of era. It was like pre-Oreo, and then they reused the sculpt like 2 or 3 years ago for an LE, a monthly LE kit, and then the base changed from whatever it used to be to a peanut base, I think.
I mean, I thought that was a unique way of doing it in set though, because since the Prime era, we've never seen that since Prime started.
It's hard to grasp it for because we haven't had it for so long. However, I would have to look. Then I would say like a B-. I mean, I'm really happy.
B- is good.
Doom. But the biggest problem I have, besides, of course, with the things you mentioned, the heralds, the lack of heralds, the lack of just other cosmic, like, I mean, how could Annihilus be, you can have Annihilus, but what about his Annihilus wave? What about all of the bugs, the generics that, make him so powerful, It's like the equivalent of the Brood, for Fantastic Four. So
it's true.
It sucks that we don't have that. It sucks that we don't have some heralds. Like we could have had Cosmic Thor, who's currently the herald of Black.
I don't know if they would have given him that kind of heads up. When that started in January?
Dude, you know how clicks, dude. That just started. That's like in 6 months. I mean, that's like they do that. They've done it before. They jump on that shit, and that's what is so dope. Clicks. They jump on it.
We haven't got anything current since Secret Invasion though. Like they were that because remember Secret Invasion? You guys remember the story for that? That set spoiled a comic book spoiler on Sue being a Skrull. I don't think we've gotten anything like even like 1 million BC. I think that was the close. I think that was almost a year. Marvel's pretty tight about that stuff. They would have had to. I mean, that would have been. I feel like this set was built after the Spider-Man set that's coming out, and it was like Fantastic Four was on WizKid's wish list. And then finally, Marvel was like, all right, the F4 is back, right? Because we started getting action figures for them in 2018, right? And action figures always come out before anything else for comic book companies, right? So,
Video
I feel like video games, yeah, but they got to be in development for a while, right? Or mobile, like characters on mobile can do it, right?
Mobile.
But yeah, I feel like 2019, with kids finally got the green light, and they were like, "Ooh, you can do a Fantastic Four set." And they're looking at their product schedule, like, I mean, our shit is set, but we're not going to say no. What the fuck do we do, right? And they kind of, it feels like a set that had to be put together in a short turnaround. But I give them credit. At least for the sculpt reuse, at least a lot of it's on the Fantastic Four themselves, right? Like, I didn't think we'd get this much Fantastic Four in a Fantastic Four set. I thought we would have got them once as chases, maybe them again as super rares, because now WizKids hasn't done that for popular characters. And that was a wrap. Or maybe got one at each rarity level, right? But they really went over ham on giving us different versions of the Fantastic Four, which if they haven't been around it feels like if you're ever going to get overused, at least get overused in your own set.
Sure. I agree. Again, another keyword that's missing is Future Foundation. That's a big deal. That was done directly by Jonathan Hickman, where he kind of did the world building for Fantastic Four and kind of like them. Really, from after Secret Wars, they went to the background in Negazone and kind of kept all the worlds together. So they were gone, but they were gone knowing that they're keeping everything right. So you had trust in the first family, and it sucks that you don't have, again, a part of the Future Foundation is Power Pack, and I know people will laugh a bit at that, but Power Pack, it's a big part of Clicks. I mean,
I'm surprised. I actually was saying I'm surprised we got more the rest of the Inhuman, because like Medusa makes sense because of the Frightful Four comic, like that's a really early appearance.
Sure.
Triton and Gorgon doesn't really jibe with that. They should have taken Triton and Gorgon out and maybe a couple other things and given us the Power Pack instead.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Fantastic Four, it became a launch pad for so many big books. Sure, Black Panther, yeah, we got him. Yes, Inhumans, yes, we got them.
We definitely got more Black Panther than we needed.
Yeah, but we didn't get, I mean, like, honestly, I know we've seen a lot of Namor, but hey, man, fill it in with some.
What the F, man? How did we not get Namor? Like, I was the one, my biggest disappointment was like, I was like, the Heralds, I was like, all right, Fire Lord, definitely we got, so that's good. Stardust, like, if I did not get into Clicks, I probably would have never remembered who Stardust was, right? Terrax is, like, to me, the second tier Herald. Third, right? It's Fire Lord, Frankie Ray as Nova, because she was Johnny's girlfriend, and then Terrax, right? But we got a Terrax recently enough to where at least he's out there in the world, right? But man, like that was Namor, especially how many times we get Namor. We get Namor a lot. He is actually the one character that crosses over amongst multiple themes. He's in X-Men sets, Avengers sets. Namor is like the chain that links the MCU the Marvel Clicks universe together. Like while the F4 was out, how did we not get a Namor to pair with you?
It sucks that we didn't get generics or some kind of like synergy with, Namor and Sue, because they've had some romantic, moments in the past. Another thing that this is really kind of like stretching it, but the Wolverine, where he was part of Hydra, Invisible Woman was with Wolverine during that time. So maybe if they could have had one of the Invisible Woman or Sue, we don't know yet. We'll see what Hard Ass.
Maybe they'll give her the keyword. That would work.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
Dude, if she gets the keyword, I can just print you guys custom figures to put on our dial. Just send me a picture from the book. I'll have my guy work it up.
You have access to a 3D printer that someone that does fit?
I have 3 3D printers.
What?
Excuse me. Hold on. I got a business partner of mine, because we're about to launch our little site called the Pharaoh's Forge, and we're doing stuff for like action figures. Right now, we're about to do our first print run, and it's going to be like 2 weeks. We're going to do a nice print run of stuff he made. He's got the 3D skills. I go find the markets and do the sales part. But yeah, we got 3 Elegoo Mars right now that we've been playing around with. And fingers crossed, if Leslie and I get approved for this house, I've got my own 3-car workshop, garage size workshop. I'm going to get a big Piopoli. They're called Piopoli L's.
Okay.
Basically, if I were to print clicks, it's big. The vat is big enough. The base is big enough. I could probably print 40 clicks in one run. Of figures, just one easy resin print. So I'm looking at turning that into a little side business. But anyways, tying it back to what we're talking about. If they give her a keyword, you guys send me a picture. I will find a way where he can mock something up, and we can definitely get you guys one to paint. You got to paint it yourself, though. I don't paint for people.
So
we're about to get sued by WizKids.
Man,
well,
whatever.
No, only
not if they don't buy it.
Feral One is, because we're not involved in that shit.
First of all, WizKids ain't suing shit. If Marvel wants to sue me and put my name on the map, I'm good. I'll say I won't do it anymore, and I'll use it for publicity.
You'll be like that new like that Candace chick that is making a lot of noise right now.
Dude, if you want to sue me for publicity, I'm down.
Hey, I have a question. So about the new previews, I think it was like these are the ones that Aaron threw up on 2 Clicks from KO. Was it Aaron? So
I'm looking at the dials now.
The dial that I think is the most interesting is Punisher, who we all know it's not Frank Castle, but
spoiler,
he is 75 points, which means he could be replaced with Punisher War Machine, right?
Isn't Punisher War Machine? Oh, because the small point dial 65, right?
Oh, is it 65? I thought it was 75.
Is it 75? Oh, I gotta look. Honestly, my Punisher War Machine came from eBay with no card. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like the saddest thing that happened to me that month.
Damn.
Which means my life isn't too bad, but
no, not at all.
Was not happy about it.
If that's the case, dude, you'll have a hypersonic Punisher War Machine, or better yet, because I think what happens is he's on his last click or so, and then you roll the dice to try to heal him or so. But even if you don't heal him, that Punisher, if you can use him, he's like...
Yep. Nope, you're right. 75 points, my friend. You replace him and roll a D6 to heal him.
With steel energy and 4 damage. Dude, that's like sold.
Hold on. Let's do some deep state analysis on this dial. I'm going to pull it. Does anyone have the ability to share their... I got to start doing this from my computer so I can start sharing screens when we're talking about
stuff. You can share your screen.
I can, but I'm doing this on my iPad, and it's not quite as... It's not as awesome. Unless you're... Right. So, America, people that watch us in whatever country you're in, we will endeavor to make this better by getting some laptops.
Yeah. See the screen because it's too bright. Let me see. I'll go to dark screen.
I mean, it's cool. They know where to go on the web, but I'm just looking at it from, let's see here. Earpod fell out. Let's see. I'm trying to find the dial.
This guy.
Okay, so if we take his dial, right, go over to his dial, what's he look like when you heal him? 1 click, 2 click, or 3 clicks? That's the most he can heal from that power, right? So there you go, right there. I mean, sidestep, steel energy, invol, 3 damage. That's pretty good.
Dude, it's amazing.
1 up. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, anyways, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, wait a minute, Punisher, but it's not Frank Castle, but it doesn't mean that you can't switch him out.
Yeah.
It's not like Punisher the Strange or some shit like that.
Dude, that means I got to get one and paint one in Punisher color. Like, even though he's a prime, like, he won't be that expensive. He'll be uncommon prime, right? So he'll be like $10. I'm definitely going to get one and paint him in Frank's colors. Like, I think that would be fun to have him in Punisher War Machine colors.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be fun.
And it's also funny, too, because he's, like, wearing armor. So he kind of has, like, that. I mean, obviously, he looks like a corny little old-school Golden Age character. But I like that. And that's the only reason why, like, Gorgon and Karnak, they both have the old-school look from when they were, like, being...
Is that who's in the Green Hood kicking? Is that Karnak?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go. Honestly, I couldn't figure out who that was.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this dude? I was like, is this like a weird Iron Fist? But like, if you have Iron Fist and don't have Luke Cage in the set, I feel like you're robbing us. Right? It's Karnak. Okay. Karnak's first appearance, he was in a cardigan hoodie and some hand wraps.
I mean, he was pretty much like fucking, you know.
He didn't have like the big dome or anything with the pistachio. Okay.
Yeah.
I've always used the Karnak with the extended dome and the pistachio.
What's crazy is how these Ghost Riders, you know, like you think that they have the Ghost Rider keyword or something. I know that it's mystical. Sure, that's what they share. Well, actually, you know what? None of the Iron Fists have the Iron Fist keyword, do they? They have Kunlun though, right?
I think Kunlun's pretty new, isn't it?
But the fact that Ghost Riders, now that we know it's a legacy character that's been going around forever, kind of like now Thor is, ever since they did the BC Avengers. It's too bad they don't have a named keyword that all the Ghost Riders can use.
I don't want them to come out with one because that means we're just going to get more Ghost Riders. Four is a lot in one set.
So the only thing, I'm not a big Ghost Rider fan. I do like the BC version. I do like the Cholo Ghost Rider that's out right now, Jamie Reyes. Not Jamie Reyes. Mm-hmm. Jamie Reyes, that's like a Blue Beetle, isn't it? But they're both Cholos.
Yeah, that is like, wow. Like I don't even think that's his name, dude.
It probably isn't, but you know, anyway.
It's not. Jaime Reyes is Blue Beetle.
Sorry, my brother's half Mexican, so it makes it okay.
Uh-huh. All right, Omar.
How can we have we not talked about Maker yet?
Because we were saving it.
Oh.
You mean creepy BDSM Mr. Fantastic?
I mean, the fact that we have the Ultimate Universe represented, you know, and they were a big deal, right? For what set was it? Originally, they were shown. Was it? I'm trying to think. This was ahead of my time.
Ultimates. Oh, Ultimates had a set. It was it was a couple sets, I think, right before the carded era.
Okay.
It was pre-carded for sure. So I remember that Captain America was like one of those Captain Americas was really good. But I think Ultimates was not too far before the carded era. The proto, we'll call them Heroclix.
Okay. But I love that they brought the universes together. You know, that's very.
Well, he was in the. Yeah, wasn't he a big story in the? Was it Secret Avengers or that Secret War? Right, yeah, he was a big character in that, right?
Or Secret War. He was a part of the Cabal or the Cabal. Why do you say the Cable?
Was he Cabal or was it the Council of Reeds?
He was both. He was part of both of them, but he was
part of both.
Yeah, mostly the Cabal though. It was him and you know, all the bad guy versions of every character that's out. But we have the Cabal. The Cabal. Do we say Cabal?
Cabal. It's Cabal. It's Cabal. It's not Cabal. It's Cabal.
Okay, so Cabal. It's like it's like intense because you can have this guy on it who is just dirty. He's like probably the modern age version of what we experience with Metron.
Yeah.
But worse. I mean, you got to pay for him.
Yeah, 100 points ain't cheap. And you know, meta players nowadays, it's not
100
like
points is too much for meta.
Right. If it's not 50 points with like a 47 attack, they're like, I don't know. Or if it doesn't break the game somehow.
The fact that you pop out Maker 2, who on his own is insane, but then you can do your dirty Eva trick, right, Sean? Is that what it is?
No, I think isn't there a max 1 on there? Is there a limit on how many times you can?
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
His POG is max 1.
Is it?
Yeah. Max 1. Should say max 1 on the description from the website. In parentheses.
So when it says max 1, that means
you can only have 1 on the board.
No, okay, but that's the same as Phantom X because you can't pop out more than 1.
Right. I think if it dies, you can bring out another one because it usually will say once per game.
Okay.
If
Yes.
it's only one time.
Yeah, that's good then.
Yeah. So pooping out makers is always good.
Yeah, the fact that you can poop him out, and then he can run away and hide, and then still get line of fire to the other character through Maker.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like old Professor X still.
That's just some antics.
Part of me.
Also,
good.
Antics. I mean, dude, the dude is he can hold his own too. I mean, he has 11 attack with Psyblast and 3 damage. With all that other shit, with everything, right? Outwit, perplex, and prob. It's dirty.
He's gonna be used with he'll be on the sideline for like Jason Wingard teams that can spawn pogs and stuff.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good. I'm hoping that one of the reads, like my real hope is that one of the reads has somehow a Various as his name. Like it says Reed Richards or Various, and then he's got a couple 2-click parts of his dial. Like he's got a normal read dial and then a couple 2, so I can have the Council of Reads. Just because I've always thought that was pretty cool that there's a, interdimensional Council of Reads. I always thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, if there's
I'd like to have that.
Can go across space and time, it should be him. But I
guess technically they could all be named Reed Richards. It's okay. So now I'm going to play all the Reed Richards on one team from the set so they can be the Council of Reads. They'll probably get smashed on, but it'll be fun to play.
It'll be theme team. They'll all have Fantastic Four or something on them.
Yeah, the one good thing about them collapsing keywords, I will say this, because they put all the Circle of 4 characters in here, right? Because whenever that happened in 2012, apparently they were kind of like the Fantastic Four, sort of. They just gave them the F4 keyword instead, like Silk and that whole crew. Instead of giving them Circle of 4, they just gave them Fantastic Four, so at least they can play on more teams. That's the one good thing about collapsing keywords. Remember we used to get West Coast Avengers, and then other Avengers, and then this Avengers, and now we just get Avengers. I actually like that better when they made that change to giving us. But then they'll just show up with some weird keywords that you're like, wait, why is this a keyword? Like, there's only going to be like 4 of these people, like ever, right?
Or when they misprint keywords entirely. Like
that happens.
Prime Miles had champions and other stuff on it.
Was he not on the? Was Miles? Has not Miles ever been on the champions? Even for an issue?
No, he was given someone else's keywords. WizKids just didn't bother to errata it.
Maybe they're future casting. Like maybe Omar's right. Maybe they got the inside scoop, and like 3 years from now he'll be on the champion. I mean, WizKids is letting them make their own characters now, right? With the Spider-Man set coming out. We're gonna get Venom Da Vinci. No one's excited.
That sculpt looks so ugly, man.
No one's excited for Venom Da Vinci?
Nobody wants that.
No? Okay.
No.
I didn't read the book, so I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's not in a book. WizKids got to make up their own characters for Spider-Man set. Basically, Marvel was
WizKids is making original.
Right. They're going to Venomize public IPs.
Yeah.
What?
From what it sounds like. Yeah.
I mean, that would be
your face in the face.
Them doing the Venomized covers, because for the most part, that means every Marvel character.
Right.
Because a Venomized character for everyone from the different that they did the last year or year plus. But they're making their own characters now. That's like some Marvel Contest of Champions shit.
Yeah. That's the word on the street, at least. That's what I think one of the solicits said, Sean, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's just they announced it maybe a year ago, I think, with them making their own stuff. But I mean, this is coming from a company that doesn't really play test or listen to people the few times that they do play test. So their design sometimes is a little.
They must play test a little bit though, because every time they make something broken, the counter comes out in the next set, and the sets are planned so far in advance, so they must know they made something broken. Right? If you think about it, we've been getting a lot of counters the very next set, and they have to plan the sets at least a year in advance. With the dials and everything, there's no way they get production that quick. Right? So they must listen to somebody. Somebody must be like, hey, that thing coming out in Spider-Man, that's going to be broken. And they're like, cool, the next set after Spider-Man, that'll be in there. So it'll be broken for one set. We're going to sell a whole bunch of clicks, and then we'll make it obsolete the very next set. Not every time, but they've been doing that a lot. They've been doing a lot of just listen, you got to make money, right? They got to get paid. And they seem to have their new business model is basically make the chases really good, or at least a few of the chases really good, right? Make the super rares popular characters that aren't littered throughout the set, at least a bunch of them, and, you know, make those dials good and sell a bunch of Heroclix. And it's easily working since the meta's turned into – Omar, you remember when it was character popularity drove the price of a figure more than the meta did?
Yeah,
and now
sure.
It's upside down. Like, the meta – like, is probably responsible for 75% of a character's intrinsic value now. Like, that's crazy.
And it's sad.
Like, it is sad.
The meta is what it is. It's a play mechanic, but there's not much creativity to do it. It's pretty much point and shoot, hit higher than a 4 or 5 on your dice, and you're going to fucking get what you want out of it.
You don't let him talk about the meta like that, Sean?
I don't play
Sean's
the meta.
The most meta player. He's the most meta player on the chat. Landers didn't join us, so he's legitimately, of the three of us, probably the most meta level. I just lost our 5 subscribers.
Yeah.
Like they're like these guys don't know clicks. They don't know about clicks.
They just came here to listen to Landers find a new exploit.
That for real. That's what they came here for. Landers tips. They have to sift through a whole bunch of BS for Landers tips. Yeah. But I think the set drops officially July 22nd.
Yep.
So we already hit up our local shop to make sure they got plenty coming in, because I think I'm good for 2. We weren't buying a house, I would get like 4, but I'm good for 2 at least for this set.
Bricks
just
or cases?
Honestly, cases, never bricks. I never buy it. It doesn't make sense for me to buy a brick, because if the chase isn't in there, I'm going to be super pissed. Just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand this brick thing that you guys talk about, because I feel like I'm always going to get robbed. Like, I have a 50% chance to get robbed. If there's nothing else in that brick, that's going to make it worth it. However, I'm buying 2 specifically for Doombots.
Yeah, well,
you're chasing these Doombots on the secondary.
Okay.
You'll get plenty of Doombots. You'll get plenty of scrolls.
What's your definition of plenty? How many Doombots you need, Omar?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be playing Golden Age. I'm gonna use the OG ones, the ones that now charge me.
Not. Those are poop.
No, he's not.
They're good. They're like 15 points.
The new ones are 15 points. Really?
And then 2 more
Doombots come out. So you're saying you're only going to get like 2 new Doombots? That's it? You're good?
No, I'm going to get like 5.
Okay. 5's a good number.
Five's good. They'll probably be like, if they're like the Dr. Fates, they'll be like 3 a brick. Or, no, that was 3 a case. Yeah.
Oh, really?
For the Dr. Fates, yeah.
Like, I need 10. 10 is the number.
That's too much,
because they make up. No,
you can trade from. Yeah, you can
10,
trade.
They make half of a 150-point team up. Or not, I'm sorry, half of a 300-point team is Doombots. Because they're 15 each, right? So 10 of them is 150. That means
if you get 2 cases, you'll probably get 7 in 2 cases.
I could probably work that. I could figure out with the local guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think about half of a 300-point team. So then you throw a 100-point Doom on, and then another 50-point has worked with Doom in the past. To me, that's a solid setup for a team. I'll probably lose, but who cares? Who cares? As long as you're
that starter Doom at 200. I feel like he can't be played in any other dial, regardless of what you put around him. He's got to be at 200. He's got to be a beast.
Yeah, 200 is good for him. I don't know. I like 100-point Doom from the set that poops out Doom bots. Like I
Yeah.
like him starting in the cuts for some early. It's early point denial, but knowing that your opponent can get 30 more if they KO everything. But it's kind of early point denial, or you look at it like you're just extending his dial, right, by having the Doom bots out there. Like I don't know. I like that he's in the cuts. That'll be a good fun team to play with some other people Doom has used in the past. Now I got to go find Neymars that I don't have and see which one's going to be the best to be friends with him.
The Neymar that I love right now is the one that came out of the Black Panther Avenger set. He's dope at 75 points, man.
Yeah, I don't have that one either. It's one of the cases I didn't get from that set.
Yeah, and he does.
Oh, the rare with the gem.
Yeah, and he has the.
The rare.
Yeah, he has the cowboy.
I thought he was. Oh, okay.
And it's a dope sculpt because he has a spear, ready to chuck you.
Oh, that's not. But there was a chase. There was a chase of him in that set too, wasn't there?
There's a chase in the last Captain America Avengers set.
That's the chase I didn't get. Was the Captain America Avengers set?
Yeah,
I have the gem one.
Yeah, that's the one where he's in his new costume, and he can like lay down water like Aquaman.
Got it. I'm telling you, I've been stocking up back stock of good stuff to trade in preparation for this set. But I really don't want any chase besides Reed and God Doom. Like need. Like I want them all, but I'm good, right? If I get God Doom.
You mean Maker, right?
Like Reed. No,
there's a
Maker
Reed.
and Reed. There's a Reed chase too with the scruffy beard.
Okay.
I mean, I'll get Maker if I get him, but
I
meant traditional scruffy face Reed.
Yeah, they got me in this set. They got me bad. That's why. It's
God Doom. $200.
Well, the way I feel about it is, if I don't get it, God Doom my first two cases, I'm gonna just get one more case, and then if I don't get it, then I'm gonna like fuck it. I'm just gonna peace out everything.
What's your?
No, you're not. You're gonna turn into Randy.
What's your trade back stock looking right now?
It's okay. I mean, I have a lot of.
Great.
I have a lot. No, I mean, I have a lot of good JLU that I can just.
Oh, that's good.
Good stuff. But I want to at least play it before I trade it. It's sad.
Yeah, Sean, what about you? How's your trade back stock looking for a God Doom?
My trade back stock never looks good. Like I get one of everything, and then if I get like most of what I want, I just stop buying from the set. But like my average buying now is probably equivalent of 3 bricks per set.
Okay. I'm sitting on. I think I'm sitting on an extra set of Mandarin rings.
I have a full set, yeah.
Because I got one set from a friend of mine, and then I got one for winning our local tournament. I think. Our local, we did a league, so we had choice of prizes, and then I've got a second Peggy Carter that I sat on, and just sat on because I knew God Doom was coming. I'm so happy that when she started making the meta, I got so happy because I'm like, oh, the value's going up. That means I can trade it.
Yeah, but God Doom on pre-release, he's gonna be like $400 or $500.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait. Like I don't need God Doom. If he was the only Doom in the set, I would be like, I need it.
I think he'll still be near like 200 even after.
So do I. He'll be the first character in a while, even if his dial sucks, where popularity will drive the price.
Yeah, because people have been clamoring for him since.
I know, but he's not going to suck. He's going to be our first one-man army since Chaos Sentry or Sentry Void. Yeah. I'm predicting he will be good like Sentry Void was good. That's how good he needs to be.
With multi-attack?
Yep. Or Goblin King before they nerfed him.
Uh-huh.
That would be a true God Doom.
Definitely. Yeah.
Goblin King was good for like a month.
I would love to see him do some other shit, some new creative shit, that, especially if he's going to be so expensive, that's going to allow him to like use other characters or some shit. I don't know.
Let's think about this though. Sean, I know we're on a rant for clicks, but in a post-retirement world, how much are retaliators going to be hurt by this retirement?
Oh, they're not going to be hurt. They're going to be better.
they're better because of this retirement. Because no call-ins, right?
Yeah, there's no call-ins, so
and they're not losing anything key to their. They're not losing a key retaliator, right?
No, so like Dark Phoenix is gonna be like one of the go-tos.
Got it.
Yeah,
maybe
like
God Doom can get rid of those.
Maybe, but I mean, you have stuff like the Widow set has one of the shifting focuses prevents retaliation. So there, yeah, I think that's one of the counters, and then maybe Harry Leland.
I mean,
but yeah,
I think
like
the best counter
Retaliators and Super Friends and Legion of Doom, they all increase their usefulness in meta.
I'm thinking God Doom at 270 points, so you can fit 2 Doom bots on just in case. Free action, deal 1 unavoidable damage to a target character this turn. That fixes your Retaliator problem. Lickety split. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone.
I mean, he's got to just have some incredible shit where obviously he uses that amazing scene where Thanos shows up and then God Doom's like, wait, you didn't bring your gauntlet? And then he just fucking pulls him up, does a predator to him, just pulls him up his fucking head out of his skull and shit. His skull out of his whole body, just fucking pulls him out and throws his body. Like,
I feel like he's gonna have good numbers because that's why they made what's alternate Black Panther called? Cheetah?
Black Leopard.
Black Leopard. I feel like God Doom has ridiculous stats, and that's why they had to make Black Leopard.
No, for sure.
I'm hoping that's what it is. Like they just came with these crazy statistics that were like, oh, that's 300 points. Like when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's 300 points. That totally makes sense to me. I'm good. But give them a way to get beaten, right? Don't make it like impossible to beat him, right? But I definitely hope he's better than Ultra Chase Thanos.
Ultra Chase Thanos is good.
He is good.
He's been played on a few competitive teams in meta, but he won maybe like once, but not in a big tournament, right?
He made his appearance at Nationals and Worlds.
Right,
yeah,
but but he made an appearance. I want God Doom to be better than that.
Yeah, I hear.
Well, I mean, if he's not an Ultra Chase, so at least you get a better chance of pulling him. And damn, he's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna be staring at him like girls stare at their wedding.
You gotta wear like surgical gloves when you're handling it because it's so much white that you're just gonna have to like wear your COVID gloves and just be like, ooh.
Oh yeah. All that.
All of it.
So we're moving on from clicks, and obviously there's a lot of different things that are going on right now, where it seems like the shelter-in-place may either stay as is or come back. And with that, what happens is we tend to get the COVID hair. Obviously not being able to get our hair did and all that kind of stuff. And just like, vegging out and being a couch potato, watching more shows. So I don't know. I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about different stuff that we're streaming. We've been talking a lot about movies. We haven't really been talking about different shows. So who wants to jump on that?
Well, Doom Patrol Season 2 just dropped on DC Universe. So I binged the 3 episodes that they dropped right away. And
no spoilers.
Yeah,
no spoilers.
They do have a new character that's straight out of the comics in it. But yeah, I would still say that's my favorite superhero show. It's the best superhero show out there. Well, they're not even superheroes, but best comic show out there. Better than any of their CW counterparts, and I would rank it ahead of Watchmen and The Boys, which are other more deconstructive, quirky comic genre shows.
Are you not enjoying Stargirl?
I have not seen Stargirl. So
Stargirl was really good in a very traditional, like they took the normal formula for a superhero show They gave it a great budget, right? It's not movie quality. Let's not, it ain't no Disney Plus Mandalorian shenanigans, but people got to make money, right?
Yeah.
They don't do a disservice to the JSA. They definitely pay them their due respect in a really good way, and yet still have all the journey of replacement heroes and finding new people to wear the costumes of the old JSA.
I've heard nothing but good things for it.
It's a pretty good show. It's very formulaic. It's kind of campy comedy. It's definitely that teen drama, high school shenanigans, but it's not crazy over the top WB dramatic, right? So most of the conflict ties back into the main story. It's okay to have conflict in your shows as long as a lot of it ties into the narrative and drives that superhero narrative forward, right?
Yeah.
It's really basic form of a bunch of heroes learning how to be heroes and discovering themselves on the journey, but it's really good. And I hate Luke Wilson. Hates him, Mr. Frodo. Bottom of my heart. However, he actually really does a good job in the show, and he's the perfect Herb for this show. Perfect.
Wait, so going back on saying, you're saying that Doom Patrol, which first of all, I have not watched it. I've seen the trailers. I've seen the ads. They look really catchy and cool and kind of quirky, but better than The Boys?
Yeah.
What elements of it is that makes it? And I know we all have different tastes. Some of us like blondes, some of us like redheads, but
it goes full trippy. Like if you want just like a acid trip, this is like the closest thing that in the superhero show genre you're gonna get. They go do just some weird stuff, and they don't care. I also have not read the Grant Morrison run, so more so for the reason to not spoil what may occur on the show, because I started with the show. I'll just stick with that until they're finished with that, and then I'll go visit the comics. But yeah, they just do whatever they want. The Boys, The Boys is, I don't know, it's Garth Ennis writing. I've heard that they've improved on the original graphic novel, but The Boys is just, it is edgy, and they do some like stuff that's far out there, but Doom Patrol goes like 10 times more than what they do in that universe, because Doom Patrol is not, they don't have that kind of limitation on where they're going with their weird adventures.
Wait, so time out. So they go deeper than a superhero using their superpowers to look through a wall and watch a boss / love interest breastfeed, and they go further than that?
So if you want to compare them, like Boys does go more dark and perverse. Doom Patrol is just a bunch of dorks that go into just weird, like groovy type of adventures.
Like, here's my question. Like, The Boys is awesome. I wouldn't categorize it as a superhero TV show. It's more of a show about supervillains that fool the world, right? Because they're not superheroes. They're not good people.
They aren't.
They're bad people.
No, they're horrible people.
Right? It's great writing, but it's not like we've never seen the bad Justice League before.
Yeah.
Like, how many times has a comic book company told a story about the bad Justice League? Right? We've got who are the OGs? Not the Justice Lords, that's from the cartoon. CSA.
Yeah.
The Authority. What was that, Omar?
Yeah. No, I said
Authority. Crime Syndicate. The CSA Crime Syndicate. Squadron Supreme. Right? So The Boys isn't it that pretty much that story with different like little pieces all over again though? Like, it's not new and different. It's the same. You can tell the same. Listen, you can tell us the same story over and over again and make it good. That's why a lot of stories are about a hero's journey, right? It's that same epic we've been getting for eons, right? Or for thousands of years about the same shit, but just told in a different twist. But I feel like The Boys, to me, is more of like a story about supervillains that just aren't any heroes around to stop, right? But there's not like good people in that show, or not a lot of good people. I don't know. That's just my take on it. And that's me saying I thought that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Doom Patrol, they're very flawed people that are reluctant to be heroes, that have to oftentimes end up having to save people or even the world sometimes. So yeah, it's definitely two very different groups of people. But you should watch it, Omar.
Yeah.
You should watch it, Omar.
It's on DC Universe. It's also now on HBO Max. So if you get HBO, you've been upgraded to Max, and it's on there.
I feel like Omar isn't subscribing to any of that nonsense.
Dude, I'm rocking a DC shirt right now. Got my Grayson shirt on.
I cannot comment on the pricing of those products. But I will tell you this. I did get a cool email today that, because I have DC Universe, that says, like, if you want to add HBO Max, it's only $5. I was like, oh, I'm sure a bunch of DC Universe subscribers are real happy right now to be able to add that for $5.
Well, I mean, all of those different streaming services are doing the same thing with the parent company. I mean,
sure, Disney with their 3. People forget they got 3. Someone was like, well, Disney Plus is, for the people. I'm like, no. Hold on. Disney Plus got Hulu, right? They made sure they bought that off of everybody that owned Hulu because a bunch of companies owned it. And then they also they also have ESPN. And there's a triple play bundle. Let's not pretend Disney Plus isn't being bundled with other stuff, right? Like that's the hustle. But I hope DC Universe app, no matter what happens, if it all rolls into HBO Max someday or whatever happens, I just hope they find a way to keep the comics accessible. Because that back catalog, I got to give – they caught up to Marvel's back catalog for Marvel Unlimited, which I've had since it came out. Marvel Unlimited's got to be 8 years old. I've had Marvel Unlimited since day one. The back catalogs are really comparable considering how like DC's only been out for a couple years. Like paying $5 or $10 a month for 30,000 back issues at your fingertips is pretty. Yeah. It's a pretty good deal. Listen, I'm Marvel Unlimited subscriber. Love that service. It is dope. It's almost the only way I read comics now if I don't buy graphic novels or something. That's why I'm always 6 months. But like I just caught up. I just read the first issues of the new Thor run, right? And I just caught up on Valkyrie, which I know we weren't supposed to talk about comics tonight, but if we do, I think Valkyrie is a fantastically drawn book. It has restored my faith in art.
Well, you can talk about that after. So the TV that you're going to talk about tonight, was that what you were speaking regarding Stargirl, or? No,
mine was not really nerd. Do I have to keep it nerd related, or does it matter?
Not at all. Not at all.
Anything you want.
So my Arjang, who's a friend of all of us, turned me on to a TV show called Rami on Hulu. And Rami is about this Muslim dude who is just trying to live his best life and just keeps getting caught up in some weird shit, right? And it's super funny, super funny. And it kind of reminds me, have you guys watched Dave yet, the Little Dicky TV show?
What show?
Dave. My name is Dave.
I haven't seen it.
It's in similar vein to that. Like it's it's a really good show. I've enjoyed it quite a bit, and it shows he's like a quirky, situation from like a Muslim point of view. Like it's like any other show, like showing it from an Italian point of view, not The Sopranos. The Sopranos is borderline just not true, right? But like from that point of view, from that group that coming in, it's really good, really, really good. I highly recommend someone to go watch Rami.
Okay.
I've heard this. This is like the third time I've heard that's a show I got to check out. It's super funny. It's super funny. Super funny.
What is it on right now?
It's on Hulu.
On Hulu. Okay.
Yeah, super funny.
Cool.
I think you'll like it, Omar.
I'm sure I will. Is it based in specific
Jersey.
area?
Nope. It's based in, like, they're not cool enough to live in New York. They work in New York, but he lives in, like, Jersey City.
Oh, that's cool. That's funny.
Yeah. Like, dude, it's pretty solid. It takes place between New York City and, you know, Jersey City, in those two spots. It's pretty solid. Like, I think you, Omar, having known you for a while, I think you will particularly like the brand of humor in this.
I'm going to check it out for sure. So, yeah, I'm going to have a lot more time being eventually, you know, here in Dallas. Our judge is really solid, and he's trying to bring the reins back in, because we've, like, tripled our cases from the beginning of the month, just in our county alone. So we started off with like 230 cases, and now we're like at almost 600. So yeah, we're going to, at least Shonda and I, my fiance, we're going to be doing some shelter in place as much as we can, besides just going to work. But with that, you know, this experience that we've all been going through for like the last 3-4 months or so, it's kind of made TV more powerful, don't you think? Like you said that the show Rami, you know, obviously that's been pre-recorded, but it shows them in natural social situations which we don't find ourselves in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
they're going to parties and stuff that, like, you know, for probably until we get a vaccine or something, it's probably going to be like, oh my God, I remember doing those things. Right. What I'm going to be interested in is seeing the set of TV shows that come out right after we're through this pandemic, representing the time of the pandemic. I think that right now, for all the obvious tragedy going on, and the crazy loss of life, and the first time that any of us, probably, right, since none of us have, I don't think anyone, not too many people alive, have lived through a pandemic, right? I think the last the real bad one was the Spanish flu in 1918, right? Like, we're pushing, like, unless you're over 100, you really wasn't popping on that, right? So I think the creativity that will come out of this, especially in the comedy situation, in the episodic comedy, is just rife for storytelling for however long this lasts, whether it's 6 months, a year, you know, heaven forbid, 2 years. Like, the social situations that people are having now, and with masks and going to the grocery store, and, like, you know, seeing a person, like, I'm like, oh my God, you got the mask and the face shield, right? But then I watch you slip your hands and touch your face like this, right? Like, just all those things. But listen, it's human nature, and just observing people and seeing, like, you know, even the carefulest people do something, or how something changes 1 week, right? 1 week the CDC is like, no, masks you don't need masks, it's fine. And like 2 weeks later, they're like, yo, the masks though, we're gonna need everybody to put those on, right? I think episodic TV shows will have a good run looking at this time and telling funny stories about it. Like, once we're through it, and we can not laugh about, obviously not laugh about the loss of life, but laugh about the, like, holy crap, 10 years ago, right? We were looking at people for touching their face and like, don't you do that, right? Type of thing. Like, I don't know. I think there's going to be some good stories coming out of it from that perspective.
definitely. And we haven't seen that yet, so eventually we will. The show that I've been watching is Insecure, and it's in its 4th season. It's written, directed, acted by, not all the episodes, but it's on HBO by Issa Rae, who's kind of like, I mean, she's like the it girl right now. She's in every movie or different show you turn on. I think she was in The Photograph. That was a really good movie. I highly recommend. She was in that Netflix movie that was supposed to come out but didn't, or it was a movie that was supposed to be out, but then it got premiered on Netflix with that dude going to be in the next Marvel movie. What's the Indian dude?
Yeah,
the guy from Silicon Valley.
Yo.
Yes.
That got super buffed.
Oh man, yeah, he's a good actor too.
Yeah, he's funny.
But this movie, what I love about it, it's like a love story to a city, which is, there's a bunch of those shows that are out now, but this one I jumped on late. So I just started with the 4th season, which is right now in 4th season. And I think they just had the season finale this week. So I'm wrapped up on the 4th, but now I get to go back and watch the remaining 3 seasons, which for me, I'm totally fine with that because like with comic books, I don't need to go back and read number 1, read number 2. Usually I start with a writer or an writer, artist, or an arc, and then I jump on that. But it's dope. It's really good writing, really good cinematography and directing. It's just like very artsy, but it's all on HBO, man. So it's just like HBO has just been hitting out of the park with so many different shows. This is definitely one of them. So Issa Rae's on it. Yvonne Orji, who's like become like one of my favorite actors and comedians. And they're all comedians. They're all like sketch comedians, but all real young, like young Black ladies. So who else is on it? Amanda Beals. I don't know. You're in a comedy, aren't you, Feral One?
Yeah, I mean, like you're asking a person who can't remember his favorite artist's name in comic books to remember individual comedians. Like if I see someone by face, maybe.
Yeah, but it's just a bunch of like dope, young, Black, female comedians, and for the most part, it's based around Issa and Yvonne. Their characters is Molly and how can I not know her name? What's Issa Rae's character's name? Oh, it's Issa. Still Issa. So she's playing herself. She is herself. She doesn't really sway in different film and movies, film, movie, TV. She's pretty much who she is, I think. But she's so creative. She raps on it. She does like different kind of like looking in the mirror and like talking to herself, and then the mirror becomes her, but you know, it's a different filming. So just really inventive comedy that we've seen in the past, but just kind of refreshed, like modern age.
Good.
The music is fucking incredible because it's all LA based music. So like you get a lot of Kendrick, you got a lot of YG, you got a lot of like Sir, like all like Compton, and just really dope like LA scenes. Like Sean, you and I were there, like, was it last year?
Yeah.
It shows like spots, some restaurants or bars over there, you know?
Yeah, no, that's cool.
A lot of sex. Like, and when I say a lot of sex, it's good stuff. Thank you, HBO. Thank you for making some good adult content, not making me feel like a perv or a European. Yeah. But highly recommend it. It's a really good show. Again, it's on its 4th season right now. So Issa plays kind of like an artsy, eccentric, kind of community-based type of kind of entrepreneur. And then Yvonne plays Molly, who's like a lawyer, like a young corporate lawyer. So, but they're best friends, and it kind of just touches on the same shit, like friendship, you know, love life, career. So all very relatable, but, you know, done through a very cool peripheral. So highly recommend it.
Very nice. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, and this episode was not brought to you by Texas.
Hey
Yeah.
now. Hey
Texas.
now. There goes 2 subscribers.
But damn.
At least we won't get caught up in Kappa.
We can get marked out. So if you would like some product placement, we do have 54 unique viewers. And we
Make
could
sure
you want to be the sponsored by Liquor podcast?
Hey, we could do that, man. We could do that.
Man,
so let us know if you want to mark us out.
Make sure we mark it not for children on the YouTube.
I mean, that just marked it, right? I mean, listen, if they legalize crack, I'd be like, hey, you want to get some of this blue flake? We pimp it up. We put this blue flake right now on the podcast. This is the only place you could get blue flake crack from Omar. Come on, man. Can't put the liquor. They're killing me, dude. You killing me. Killing me, Omar.
Oh, I'm feeling good right
Killing
now.
me.
So what's our third topic, Farrell?
I didn't know we had 3 topics.
I mean, can I talk about comics?
Yeah.
I'm just so excited to have read comics. Okay, so I was super bored before a friend of mine recommended a game to me. So I had like a 3-day spot where I had nothing to do at night, and I'm an insomniac. So what happens with my Marvel Unlimited subscription, every year it renews, and I'm like, do I really need this? How much do I, get it, right? And it's like $80 a year or whatever it is. And then I realized, like, well, I just look at it for like 10 hours a year. I'm good, right? $8 an hour for entertainment seems on the cheap, right? So then what it'll do is every time I get my renewal, I'll go into the app and I will see what I missed. And I've read I'm up to issue 4. That's all that's out on the current Thor run, where he's a Herald of Galactus. Thought that was pretty cool. I'm not super juiced on the artwork in the last issue. I think it's okay. But then that leads me to what else is going on in the world of Asgard. And I see Jane Foster got her own book. Now, I did read, what was it, The War of the Realms? Like, I read that crossover. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of crossover, and I probably forgot a lot of it, right? Because, sometimes you're reading all that crossover, and you're just like, yep, this happened. And you're trying to read all the satellite books.
Yeah, I don't even like crossovers anymore. They're just
But it was cool because
tedious.
that's the first time Thor got his own, multi-book spanning event, right? First time Thor's really... Fear itself was like the Avengers with Thor's stuff being used as a plot device.
No, it was everybody, bro.
Yeah, I felt this was more Thor-centric than Fear itself. Like, just more, like, they didn't have to create a fake villain. Anyways, so I didn't know Jane Foster. I heard Jane Foster became Valkyrie, but it didn't really resonate, or I didn't remember it. And then I read the first few issues of Valkyrie, and the book's not bad. The book is pretty good. Typical superhero book. But, man, I think the artwork is freaking fantastic. Like, it is exceptional.
Who is it? Is that Doderman?
Dude, now you're killing me. You're going to ask me to name artists?
Testing your nerd cred.
No, hold on. If you need me to name artists and authors of certain runs, like, my nerd cred is shot. If that's how we're basing nerd cred, it's a wrap on me.
Mine's probably shot. Yeah,
if that's how we're basing nerd cred, I'm on the wrong. I mean, I thought there were podcasts that already did garbage like that.
Don't everyone else does it. We don't
nerd shame me, Sean.
We don't need to know anything.
Afu, he's an incredible cover artist. I love his shit.
Let's see. Issue 4, which is the last issue I read. Artist.
Hey, did we lose him?
Sion Tormey, Roberto Poggi, Fraser Irving. I don't know who any of these people are, but they did a great job on the book.
Oh, yeah, Fraser Irving. I know him.
Yeah, Fraser Irving's incredible. He was doing Batman for a while.
Yeah, the artwork is, man, I don't know. Something about the artwork it's usually with comics, my main problem is usually the art. If I don't like the style, like even like some of my favorite comic books ever, like the Truth Captain America series, one of my favorite miniseries ever. Loved it. The whole Isaiah Bradley story, I thought it was dope. Artwork sucked. I thought the artwork sucked. Bows. Not the art itself, the style of it. I thought was like, this book deserved a lot better.
I used to hate that as a kid because the cover art will be like badass, and then you
the bait and switch.
Yeah, it's a hell of a bait and switch. Like,
but I don't know. I think the book, and I don't really like Jane Foster, as you guys have heard before. My love of Jane Foster is very minimal. Like and Craig always makes it worse. He makes me hate that character more and more.
I thought you were talking about Natalie Portman.
Yeah, I hate Natalie Portman, but now it's bled over to she plays Jane Foster. But I liked Jane Foster Thor. I thought that run on Thor was, Thor for me, for Marvel, besides keeping up on Captain America, because I feel like I have to, Thor has been my most enjoyable character to read for, I don't know, since Odinson dropped the hammer. Since Odinson dropped the hammer, I gave that book a chance. I thought it was a great book. I actually thought it was better than what they did with Sam Wilson as Captain America, which I still enjoyed that. But I thought the Thor run was even better than that. I thought they were able to carve her own niche in that Thor universe that makes her stand out as, because, they always go back to giving Odinson the hammer, right? That's just the way it works. But her as Valkyrie, the costume looks so different than Brunhild's. They gave her a MacGuffin weapon, the all weapon, which is basically looks like it was all created by Sinestro's power ring. Like it's a yellow energy weapon that can turn into anything. I'm like, oh my god, Sinestro loaned out his power ring to Valkyrie. This is great. But they got some super D-listers in there to start, like some real D-listers that stole some power armor. And it's got Heimdall in it for the first few. No spoilers for anyone that hasn't read it, but it's got Heimdall in it, and they do something really because he's transitioned out of his job now because he's blind. So they transitioned Sif into being the all-seeing whatever. So they transitioned him out in a really cool way, like super super cool.
I just want to say a little sidebar conversation point. How could we never have received a Heimdall book, especially after how creative we saw different ways he was used with Taiki Waititi when he was like, I mean, he's like the all-seeing. Who was the character? The Executioner, not the Executioner. He has a different name. He has like two different names.
Oh, Scourge.
Scourge. Yes. So Scourge, where they showed the scene and he's like hanging out with the girls and like, I mean, obviously he was being the temporary Heimdall, right? Because he had control of the Rampage at the time. Dude, why can't we ever get a Heimdall story where he's just like a creeper and just like he uses the Rainbow Bridge to like either tell stories or watch.
What is it with you, man? You just want everyone creeping on it. You like Superman Returns, didn't you?
Yeah,
I loved the best dude. Brandon Root.
Yeah, his hands were like down his pants during that scene.
Like you liked him just looking in the window, like somebody's watching me.
That's the only superpower that Omar would want is X-ray vision.
What is with you? Your voyeurism is out of control, dude. You're on like a level 10. That should be called Texas voyeur bourbon. Ooh, somebody, hey, Sean, file a patent for that. Don't you do that or something like that? File me a copyright on Texas voyeur bourbon.
All right.
Like, Texas voyeur bourbon. We could do it in like a twang. Texas voyeur bourbon. Give you that side beyond sight. That was horrible Texas accent, but they all sound. That's how all Texans sound to me.
Oh shit! We didn't even talk about G.I. Joe.
The toys?
Everything G.I. Joe. We got a little bit of time left.
Like what do you want to talk about with G? So I'm super big G.I. Joe fanboy, and I don't want to come off as mad sensitive. So I like to talk about the toys though.
But the Snake Eyes movie, you're not hyped about it at all?
Zero faith in the movie.
Yeah.
I want to know how much they changed the story or the backstory of the character.
They're gonna ruin it.
What's gonna be the change to the character's backstory that you're gonna mess up and make it not like? Is he still an American soldier that's taken in by this Japanese family? Like, how are you telling the story? Or are you just gonna make him some rando dude that becomes Snake Eyes? Because I feel like that would be whack. Then he's just here's the thing. Without the conflict between him and Storm Shadow, of him being adopted into the family and that classic, my dad loves the kid he adopted more than me. Like, if you don't tell that conflict, Snake Eyes is just a ninja with guns. So you might as well call him Quiet Pool. Right? Like, I'm worried. I'm super nervous because none of the G.I. Joe movies have been awesome. But the toy line they relaunched, man, Hasbro took that swing and put that thing into orbit. That toy line
the new 6-inch line.
We're getting
classified.
Pimp Daddy Destro. Pimp Daddy Destro.
Does he come with a ghetto blaster?
Nah, dude, come on, man. That's like super like offensive.
Okay.
But he does come with a leopard print cape. I'm gonna need so many of those so my action figures can have leopard print capes.
So I looked at the figure. Is his face really reflective?
Yes.
Did they really use something that really like it makes him
chrome plastic? Yeah, it's just chrome plastic.
Because that's what I always loved about the cartoon was Destro. You could be walking by and then you see reflection. Of course, you always see Baroness.
Yeah. You ever read the G.I. Joe comics, the original Marvels?
Some of them, but for me as a kid, it kind of went cartoon, comic. They all were the same shit. You know, I can't differentiate.
I didn't read those until I got older, like way older. Like I watched cartoon, of course, you know, collected the figures, all that shit, right? But I never read the comic. Man, the comics are kind of dark.
Yeah.
A lot of people get murdered, like straight up murdered. Like my man Larry Hama was crushing it. I got to meet him up here. The only good thing about Washington that's ever happened to me is I got to meet Larry Hama finally at I was at a random little booty con, and Larry was just there. And I was like the only person in the place, like super geeking out because I love Larry Hama. Because he wrote all the file cards. He
a
wrote
legend.
all of those file cards. He's the man.
The Northwest has become, for a lot of, I think, writers and mainly writers, especially for comics, kind of their new little like New York, like a creative hub. I feel like a bunch there. A bunch of them moved to Washington.
Because it always rains here, and they have an excuse to stay inside and write.
Yeah.
Like literally, go. It's what's it? June. What's it? Almost July 1st, June 30th, right?
Yeah.
It's like 60 degrees today, and rainy, and it's been like that most of June. So I can see why they come here, because you got to get in that sad writing mode. If you want to get in your feelings, like I'm all up in my thoughts. Like this place will definitely. I definitely have never felt more creative as a human being.
Okay.
Like finding stuff to paint, making my own action figures, doing this 3D printing thing. I've never felt this creative, and the ability to go do it because I literally don't want to go outside. Not because of COVID, because of normal, just cold. We'll call it cold vid.
I just don't want to go outside because it's like 98 degrees here.
But warmth is better than rain.
Yeah, but I have to always powder my balls.
Oh,
we just lost all of our subscribers.
No, I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure there's a few people that want to hear about Omar's, Sacagawea.
One thing I gotta say that I love about some of our listeners is that some of them watched it to the very end, because I was looking at some of the analytics, and it's like, first of all, going back, they don't have to go back and watch the original, because sure, it says episode, but there's not really a connection. But I guess they could see the growth, development of how we kind of work and play off each other.
No, we're the opposite of growth. It's just like decay. There's like a half-life.
Listen, I'm, you know what I appreciate about some of our listeners? That there are some of them. Like the sum of them. That's all 26 of y'all. Appreciate it.
Well,
I hope that wasn't like a gang symbol or something.
As of earlier this afternoon, based off of the unique viewers, we had 55. So,
all 55 of y'all. That's super appreciated.
Yeah, and most people are staying around for more than 10 minutes. I mean, that's not bad for a 2-hour episode.
Listen, I've never even rewatched one of our episodes, to be honest. So none of those views are from me. So that's good. We're not even adding our stats.
None of those are from me.
Sure
I hate the sound. I hate the sound of my own voice, so I can't do it.
I'm sure both of you guys didn't even subscribe.
I also hate the sound of your voice.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I don't sound all of your voices, especially mine.
Yeah, it's just something about hearing your own voice. You're just like, I wonder if James Earl Jones went through that, right? I wonder if James Earl Jones early on was like, I don't like the sound of my voice, son.
He never went through that.
You never know that. You said some people might go through that. That might have been his thing, where it took him a while to get comfortable with the sound of his amazing voice. No.
Let me swap out that sculpt.
No.
That's good try. Good try, Sean. It was real bad. You're not a voice actor.
Wait, was that you doing? Was that you as James Earl Jones as the Crimson Randito?
No, that was just Randito.
Oh, his voice ain't got that much baritone in it. He's more of like a, come on, man. Let me swap that sculpt. Come on, man. Let's we can make this trading thing. Like he starts speeding up his speed, tries to confuse you.
No, have we told you he once he was getting in an argument with our buddy Daniel about who had the deeper voice.
Really? Randy's voice? I don't remember Randy's voice being big. Daniel Ortiz, tall Daniel that played basketball?
Yeah.
I don't remember his voice being awfully deep either.
I think it was deeper than Randy, so.
I mean, listen. I don't remember Randy's voice. Maybe Randy's voice is deep and I just don't know it. Randy's voice never sounded deep to me.
Both of them I love, but there's some real non-pussy getting bros.
Hey, man. That's not very nice. That's not very nice at all, Omar.
So
Wow. That is mean. Like, you calling people out, like, that's like by their government names. Like, damn, son, that's cold. Like, I don't sponsor or support this section of the podcast where we're just calling out people.
Sometimes
And
it's you should just like, get some breast milk to just like, kind of like, throw in their direction, make them feel, reborn again.
What the?
Oh my God. I mean, maybe Randy really is just on the mission for finding someone with a perfectly symmetrical face.
That could be
That could be a thing. That could be a thing.
That could be
like that could be a thing. Like, he wants us perfectly symmetrical on both sides. He's got it for Heroclix sculpts. Maybe that's how he projects it. We love you, Randy, but you definitely need to go get that fixed. Hypnotism, brother. Just get hypnotized.
No, what he needs to do is freaking come on the show, like he promised he would.
Has he never been on the show?
Not really.
Yo, I thought he was a guest on the show.
He was supposed to be one of the regulars.
Oh, got it. At least I know.
That's why we give him. That's why we give him. At least I know whose spot I'm taking.
He has since been replaced. Well, I was thinking about you for a long time.
You guys could have did way better. I'm telling you, if you just put it out there.
I was thinking about you for a long time, but I was like, you seem real busy. I'm like, I've been, lurking on you and seeing, you and your wifey.
There's
COVID, you picked the right time. That COVID put me out of busy.
Perfect.
What about, hey, how come you didn't? You should have asked Shea Butter. No, Scott? You afraid Scott going to say something wild? That's why.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you afraid Scott going to say something wild?
Well, but I need some more. I already have my Holly. I have my Holly slots filled up already.
You filled your Caucasian quota?
Yes. I mean, again, there's a lot of podcasts out there with, the Hollies. So I want to say that we're a little, different ideas, different culture, different language. Hey, we got all that.
He's a ginger. That's technically amongst the Blancos. The ginger is definitely more of the, it's definitely the rarest. What? Sean is like, oh my God, yeah. This is definitely like, you got to cut this off at like 10 minutes ago.
I think you ratted me out. There was this one time we were all like karaoke, and I think you were there, Sean. No?
What'd you do?
No, just
that's a good question. What did you do?
Karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this Indian chick that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott was seeing her and me kind of like, dilly-dallying, whatever. I think he ratted me out.
I don't think I was there for that.
I'm pretty sure you were.
No, I was there when you were, when I've seen you do it with other people, but I wasn't there that time. But
America?
I'm not a narc, man. I didn't.
America, I have never seen nothing. My friends are perfect angels. They've never done anything illicit. They've never done anything wrong. And if they need me to vouch for them, I will totally do it for the right amount of money. And I would never.
Who needs enemies?
I won't tell on you, but if you need me to lie for you, you got to pay me. I won't. I don't snitch, but I do get paid to lie.
I'm not I'm really not a good guy.
Your corruption costs
what?
money.
You and I do not share that trait, my friend. I'll lie right to your face.
That was when I was a kid.
Stone face. I was good at it when I was a kid. I'm good at it as an adult.
So, tell us more about your new game that you're working on. So, obviously, right now. We're kind of tailing into the end, tail spinning away. Tell us a little bit more. You have a site yet or anything?
Oh, game. You mean so we have, I did register the Instagram page. And you got to buy now that this is going to be out. I got to go buy the web domain before somebody snatches it up. I'm going to go do that after I get off this podcast. So I think we're going to settle on the name, the Pharaoh's Forge or Pharaoh's Forge. Just kind of ties in to my last name, meaning Pharaoh and Italian and all that stuff, right? And the whole Middle Eastern thing. So we're going to call it the Pharaoh's Forge. Got a great partner. His name is Shane. Dude is graphic design artist. He is so money about me saying, hey, let's make this thing, and not knowing how hard it is. And then like him just cranking out and saying, boom, here's the thing. So I actually have, this is going to sound silly, right? But this is what we're making for action figures. Little Roman Centurion shields.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh.
Now, obviously I painted this, right? It's going to come resin done. This is our first product we're going to make. This is a proof. The difference will be, so you see the little bear head right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's going to be removable. You'll be able to swap it with a lion and a wolf.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Instead of printing a lion and a wolf shield. And really, the way that came about, the 3D printing thing's interesting. We were like, ooh, the lion one's cool, the bear one's cool. So I put it up on a couple Facebook groups I'm a part of with this action figure line called Mythic Legions. It's like it's basically a D&D line.
Okay.
Literally. Swords and sorcery type of stuff, right? And I said, would you guys buy this? They were like, oh yeah, dope. But then like the printers are small, right? An entry level hobby 3D printer, the build plate is like this big, right? So we can only print 3 shields at a time. So to do the first print run of 30 or 40, it's going to take us a week to print them all up, right? Until we get a bigger printer. So I'm like, wait a minute. But then we got to print 12 of the lion, 12 of the bear, 12 of the, wolf, right? And then people got to buy 3. And it seems like at that point, you're kind of making people choose or you're kind of gouging people, right? So I was like, wait, can we just make it so the head swaps? And this way they only got to buy 1. And then next time we print a shield, we'll do it with spikes. But then we'll leave the original 3 head sculpts available as a kit, that kind of thing. So people aren't I don't want people to break the bank, even though the line that this is for is definitely an adult collector type of thing, right?
Sure.
They're not priced for kids. It's a hobbyist line. The figures are made of the same 45, 50 tooling parts. So they're meant to be swapped and painted and turned into your own stuff, right? So we're just kind of adding to that line with something that we thought wasn't there and it was super cool. But it really has got me into the 3D printing. Like, again, I don't print shit. Shane does that work. I just find what we're going to go do and think about it. Clicks is my kind of scale up the business a little bit.
Yeah.
I would like to print some things for Clicks. Like just thinking about different things, like pieces for the game, or, something we thought about is, you get your Pogs, or now if you downloaded the Justice League, the stupid Justice League adventure set scenario, they gave you a sheet of Pogs. You got to go print yourself. I'm thinking we're going to print those, but where the numbers and like the sketch of the character will either be raised lettering. So when you go paint it, you can paint it and you can make it look all cool. So thought about doing that. That's something where we could do it, and I could do a whole set on a big printer, and I really don't have to charge a ton of money. So people buy poker chips, right? Only thing is you got to paint this yourself. So it's getting people that are really into that hobbyist niche again. Niche. Sorry, I said niche wrong. Niche.
I don't know. I think a lot of us have or wanted to, maybe haven't had the time yet, and now we do. So
right.
I've been kind of dabbling in just painting different I want to say customs, because it's more like cutting off an arm, putting an arm on, doing some Frankenstein customs, So I've been doing a few of those in the last year. That's been fun. I know Sean says he only plays Clicks so he doesn't paint, but that's just because he's lazy.
Yeah.
You guys should, I recommend, Omar, you should get a printer. They're really small. Dude, they're easy to use. The resin we use is water washable. So no isopro alcohol needed. There's really I mean, it's not hard, man. Like, it's super easy to do. And you're a
Yeah.
smart dude.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I got you now since you do the figures, and I got to stand to do all my dice, so I'm cool.
Lazy. I like it. Listen, I'll pay people. I got my nephew. If we get this house we're looking at, I already contracted my 7-year-old nephew. We're paying weekly to come pick up the dog poop.
Well, there you go.
Right?
So on that note, check out Pharaoh's Forge once it comes
Not
out.
yet. Yeah, there you go. When it comes out, don't go to the Instagram yet. There's nothing on there.
To a place near you. For now, you're just gonna have to touch yourself and just say Pharaoh's Forge, Pharaoh's Forge, Pharaoh's Forge.
That's super weird. That's a ringing endorsement.
But,
from the makers of Texas Voyeur Bourbon.
We thank you again for coming in and hanging out with us. We definitely all want to be a part of all the things that we wanted to be a part of, but for now you can just deal with us and we'll be your little nerd escape. Come nerd in with us. If you have any ideas or shout outs, or if you want to join us, let us know. Maybe you'll be lucky enough. You send us a nice picture,
So
maybe
Omar
we'll be lucky. Okay.
Omar will be staring at your picture.
Oh boy.
Well, wave 2 is coming, so yeah, everyone will be stuck inside again.
Good night, y'all.
Peace out.
All right. Bye-bye.